Hello and welcome to the Road to Ranches. I have Lori Kendall and Tiffany Clemens from Overseas Leisure Group. They are basically one of the tricks I have up my sleeve as a travel advisor. They do not sell directly to the public. They work with travel advisors. And so this relationship gives me access to insider information and a variety of exceptional properties like the ranches you're going to see today. Well, I'm going to turn off my camera and introduce them. And then eventually, after they say hello, they're going to turn off their cameras. And that way we can give you a full screen of this beautiful presentation they put together today.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. We are delighted to be partnering today with Jen Campbell-Bowles and explore more family travel to present U.S. ranches. My name is Lori Kendall, and I'm Director of Sales at Overseas Leisure Group. We are a luxury travel operator that work with travel advisors with expertise in the North American market. And we work very closely with Jen. And I am joined today by my colleague, Tiffany Clemens, who is one of our experts on U.S. ranches. So now we're going to turn off our cameras so we can focus on wonderful U.S. ranch experience. Oh, U.S. ranches, let's see here. Bear with me one second. There we go. So U.S. ranches have really come a long way. They really have. And in our agenda today, we are going to talk about the road to ranches, ranch categories, ranches, those we all know and love, and ranches, those we should think more about. The American journey. So U.S. ranch trips have become very popular, and luxury ranches have changed the image of the U.S. worldwide. 15 years ago, there were hardly any luxury ranches in between the U.S. coasts. Today, there are many to choose from. Ranches that have flourished in many states and under very different forms. We really need to differentiate them and dream and what dream and experience they might fulfill. These are some of the types of experiences that you can actually experience on a ranch. And we therefore created ranch categories. So let's understand these. We not only looked at less obvious ranches, we extended the spectrum of ranches, but we also created ranch families based on the focus of the journey. So here are some of the categories. None of them imply more luxury than others. It's more about the prevailing concept. So for the love of horses, this is the roots of the ranch, the original ranch definition, dedicated to horses and cattle. And while you still will find a variety of things to do, this is where you will connect with horses and wranglers without much distraction. Modern cowboy, it is the elegant version of a ranch where luxury will take first row. It is a well-balanced mix of activities, including horseback riding. You would not stand out if you didn't know anything about horses. These ranches usually remain fairly intimate. And then amazing playgrounds. It's all about the outdoors. There have been no worries about ranch rules when building these, nor anything off limits that this ranch can't offer. Instead, it's an abundance of activities, often located in very vast properties with incredible scenery. And then you have the historic gems. Ready for time travel without concessions on luxury? Here you are going back a century to enjoy Western hospitality inheritance. Surely a topic for debate. A few of them could belong to many categories or all categories. Nonetheless, our choice focuses on the core purpose of the ranch. And I think as we go through these ranches and these categories, it will really help assist you in identifying which ranch would be the right fit for you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany, who's going to start with all those ranches that we know and love. Tiffany?
Yes. I first want to discuss the beautiful ranch at Rock Creek. It is an amazing property sitting on over 6,000 acres. And I love to call it truly magical because you're sitting at top of the world heights. It's over 6,000 feet in altitude. It's 127 years old, and it's the first 5-star ranch recognized by Forbes. They have over 10 rooms and cabins, and then they also have glamping options at this location as well. And it has all-inclusive experiences, vast amounts of activities, and will keep you occupied the entirety of the time without ever having to leave the ranch. What we would like to do also when you are interested in a specific ranch like this is to provide insider tips for you guys. And one of those insider tips at Ranch at Rock Creek is Bernie's Bakery. Not well known, but it is truly special. And we always like to recommend if you fly commercially into Missoula Airport, which would be about an hour and a half from the ranch, there's a bakery called Bernie's Bakery, and they're famous for their pecan pie. And we've had clients that actually got married at this ranch decide instead of the traditional wedding cake to order 50 of those pecan pies from this bakery. So it's truly special, and we love to provide those insider tips for you of things you cannot miss with your ranch experience. And then, of course, we love to pair our ranch experiences with other destinations nearby that you might want to take part in if you're not just looking for just a ranch experience. And so for Ranch at Rock Creek, I always like to recommend either going up into Yellowstone and staying at the beautiful under canvas glamping, or going down into Jackson Hole. And depending on your budget, there's the beautiful Amangani, the Caldera House, and many, many others. And of course, if you fly privately, you're only 30 minutes away from the ranch when flying into Anaconda. The second 5-star ranch that I want to discuss that's known and loved is the resort at Paws Up. It sits on over 37,000 acres. It actually served as the backdrop for the novel A River Runs Dry, if you've heard of it. And it has historic land with ties to the Native American tribes. You can actually split your time at this ranch, doing half of your time in a log cabin and half of it at a tent overlooking the river. It's just a special experience. 5-star amenities. Activities are not included at this ranch, but they have so many to choose from. Fishing here is exceptional. You actually get to do it from an inflatable raft, and they actually have the largest privately owned equestrian center in Montana. And just a side note, this is actually one of the only ranches that accept dogs. So if you're looking to travel with your pet, this would be one of the properties that would accept them. And again, we like to provide insider tips for this ranch as well of things you don't want to see or miss while you're there. And these are just a few of those. And then again, we'd like to pair this ranch with either going up into Glacier National Park, where there's many adventurous activities, or going down into Jackson Hole or Yellowstone to pair along with this ranch experience. And again, this ranch is closest to the Missoula Airport. And the third well-known ranch that I wanted to talk about is the Lodge and Spa at Brush Creek. We've categorized this one into the amazing playground. It is larger than 30,000 acres. It has a lodge and a farm on property, and a homestead as well that's adults only. It has a state-of-the-art greenhouse and farm, an on-site craft distillery. They have a gourmet farm-to-table restaurant. So for those that are definite foodies, this would be a ranch to go to. They raise all their beef on property. They have amazing activities. Trout fishing is very popular in the area. And then one of the insider tips I like to recommend at this ranch is they have over 170 wild Mustangs, and they have the opportunity for you to be able to go out at sunrise and feed the herd of those Mustangs. And it's pretty unique and incredible. And then, of course, there's so many other things there that you can fully enjoy your time. And of course, we pair this as well with other locations such as Aspen, Telluride, or even into Dunton, Colorado. And the closest airport to this ranch would be Denver if you're flying commercially, and if you're flying privately, it'd be Laramie Airport. And then I wanted to talk about a few ranches that aren't as well known, but are definitely those properties that you cannot miss out on. The first one I wanted to talk about is Lone Mountain Ranch. we've categorized this one into a historic gem. This ranch was actually the first property to have received electricity in the state of Montana. So it is a true traditional rustic ranch. Their staff is local. They only have 26 cabins. They were all renovated in 2016. Some of them even have river views. And there is a 6-bedroom home on property too that can house up to 18 people. But this ranch does have a 5-night minimum in place, so just remember that. There's amazing insider tips as well that you don't want to miss. So if you're driving from West Yellowstone, I always recommend to stop by the River House, which is famous for their slow-cooked barbecue, and they have amazing views while you're enjoying your food. And then again, you can pair this with Glacier as well, or going into Yellowstone or Jackson, depending on what you're wanting to do along with your ranch visit. And the closest airport to this ranch commercially would be Bozeman. So for the horse lovers, this would be one of the go-to ranches that I would recommend, Mustang Monuments. They have over 750 Mustangs that roam freely, and it's fully sustainable. 100% of the bill goes to save the Mustang Foundation. It sits on over 576,000 acres. And it's only open June to September. So just remember that. But it houses 10 cottages and 10 teepees, so you can have a truly one-of-a-kind experience. And they have a lot of activities as well. They have ATVs, driven safaris. They have archery, shooting, paintball, and they also have the spa. And another, like I mentioned at the other ranch, you can actually go out at sunrise as well and feed the Mustangs, which is a truly unique experience. And then, again, you can tie this in with either Salt Lake City. You can go into Jackson Hole. There's Yellowstone as well. And if you're flying in, you would either fly Salt Lake City commercially, or you'd privately go into Elko Airport. The next ranch I want to talk to is also a horse lover's ranch. It's the Zapata Ranch. It is a true working bison and cattle ranch, and they house over 2,000 free-roaming wild bison. It's based in southern Colorado, 4 hours south of Denver, and it's owned by a nature conservancy. And when I say working ranch, they emphasize conservation and education. It sits on over 103,000 acres, which is 7 times the size of Manhattan. And it also has a 17-bedroom lodge. So if you're looking to travel with several people, this would be a place to consider. And I also like to recommend the stargazing here. It's absolutely incredible. It has the dark sky zone, so there's nothing like it. And again, if you're a foodie, this is where you would want to be. All their produce is sourced locally, and the wildlife here is incredible. They house over 5,000 head of elk, among other things. And this is just an incredible getaway. And another thing that I love to talk about here is that they custom make their itineraries. So while someone in your group or family might be an avid horse lover, someone might be afraid of horses, and they customize your itineraries based on each individual person to give them the best experience that each person is looking for. And then I think, Lori, if you wanted to follow through with the summary.
Great. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. So there's no way we could present every single ranch today. There are so many wonderful options, and this is just a snapshot of a few of them. And then Jen has information and some documents that are helpful in really choosing what ranch is going to be the best choice for the ranch experience you all are looking for. But again, I'd like to thank you very much for listening and attending the webinar. Thank you so much, Jen, for allowing us to present. We truly appreciate it and appreciate the partnership. Thank you.